Psalms 96:14 asks, "Who will rise up for me against the wicked?" Religious persecution is tied to political repression and weakening institutions in Nigeria. Example, the detention of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a clear example. In 2022, Nigeria's Court of Appeal struck down the charges against him and ordered his release. The UN Working Group on Arbitrary Detention has also called for his unconditional release. Yet he remains in solitary confinement, in deteriorating health, and recently had to represent himself in court. Nigeria has signaled that the law is optional and targeting Christians is fair game. Just hours ago this morning, despite the pleas and cries of the Nigerian people and many Nigerian lawmakers, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was convicted on all charges. For fiscal year 2025, the U.S. has requested nearly $8 billion for sub-Saharan Africa. But when Americans see political prisoners, judicial defiance, and the slaughter of Christians, they understandably ask as they meet their own struggles, why should our tax dollars support governments that refuse to protect their own people? Is our aid aiding a genocide? Nigeria is a nation of tremendous potential.
Barrister, that was Senator John James of the U.S. Senate. Now, I'll still play another video because, like I said, Nnamdi Kanu has become a global figure right now. The U.S. have become interested in him. That's Senator John James, and the people that are speaking right now are the people that are after that Donald Trump is after their own heart. So they are people, real core supporters of Donald Trump. And one thing about Donald Trump is that he listens to the MAGA movement. Anything, whatever, he always ignores and doesn't take seriously anything that comes from the left or that whatever, all his detractors or enemies. But you see, he see his own movement, that MAGA, Donald Trump list, the moment anything he wants to do and there is a serious pushback from the MAGA movement, he withdraws. He listens. He's that kind of a person. I say that's why he's a good leader. He listens to his supporters. And these senators that are speaking are among his core supporters. You heard what this man said. You heard what he said. He's a senator. Now, you see the impression they have about the whole Nnamdi Kanu case. They already see him as a political prisoner. That's exactly the word he's used there. So they no longer view, and that's the way I view Nnamdi Kanu right now. That's why I'm even supporting, because I decided to disregard what he has done in the past, because I see an oppression and persecution here. And that is the line that U.S. officials are taking. That's the line they are towing right now. They view Nnamdi Kanu as a political prisoner, and they are coming to his aid. You heard what he said, that Nigeria should release him. Nobody wants to talk about the crime he committed right now. Because why? He insinuated that because the law in Nigeria is not balanced, just like I said earlier. What is good for the geese should be good for the gander. But in Nigeria, it is not so. What is good for the geese is not good. It's not usually applied to the gander. That is the point. You treat everybody equally, and people will not see persecution there. They will not see oppression there. But what we are seeing right now is oppression. So the U.S. officially now has become interested in Nnamdi Kanu's case. And that is why I became confident. Initially, if prior to this day, I would have just thought that they just want to kill Nnamdi Kanu in prison. They want to use the image to kill them. But when seeing this, Bola Tinubu does not want to overplay his hand by killing them. So this has given me confidence that Nnamdi Kanu, they won't touch his life. They are only trying to punish him mentally. They want to break him. So what is your thought on this? US is already interested in this. They are talking about it. They are asking that he be released.
I don't think it's in the interest of any government to kill Nnamdi Kanu in prison, because the effects will be more than what it is. And there will be not much benefit from doing that. If any government had intended to kill him, it would have been Buhari's government, because of his personal hatred for Nnamdi Kanu, which he even expressed. If you look at his statement, his anger. But he didn't, when he was there in prison throughout Buhari's time, he was he didn't kill him. So I don't think it is even in the greater interest of
I'm telling you,
Tinubu
Barrister.
to kill him.
I,
He will be. I believe he will be safe. I believe he will be safe in prison, and I agree that for internal and external pressure on his case, the government would make sure of his safety in prison. I agree with that wholeheartedly. But when we are talking about the foreign interest, which also ensure that they get the correct thing. When you are citing, in the US, there's Court of Appeals, there are District Court, there are Supreme Court. The highest court is the Supreme Court. Yes. You will not take a judgment of the Court of Appeal and begin to parade it when there's a judgment of the Supreme Court, which is superior. So let's get the facts right. You are talking about Court of Appeal that gave judgment and asked him to be released when there is an appeal to Supreme Court and the Supreme Court overturned that judgment. How can you still be relating with the judgment that has been overturned? Let's be clear on certain things, get certain facts. Yes, there should be, and I have said it again and again, there should be a political solution to Nnamdi Kanu's case. Like it or not, he has achieved a very large, quite substantial followership in the Southeast. And for that reason alone, we need to handle his case carefully so as not to alienate his followers, so as not to, whether rightly or wrongly, what they believe. They are our citizens, they are our brothers and sisters. We should take their complaints, their considerations and issues into account in whatever political decision is taken. I have always said that we should not hit people on the head just because of certain things. We should understand people, take into account their concerns, and fashion out political solutions. And that is whether they are right or wrong. We should not deny them their feeling. We did not deny them their concerns. We should take them into account.
All right. Anyway, like I said, Tinubu's government has succeeded in making Nnamdi Kanu popular. That is just the reality. They will eventually regret what they did. Like I said, if you don't like someone to gain popularity, you ignore the person. Ignore the person. That is just it. They could have just ignored this man, and that is just. But I don't know why they had to go out to import him to pursue. Buhari made that mistake to whatever. He was already out of Nigeria. All they would have done what they would have done was just to try to contain Nnamdi Kanu, and they could have been able to do that. But no, they didn't. They chose not to do that because Buhari is so used to this issue of going to import people. He did that with Umaru Diko, for God's sake. Going to import people, import human beings, to force them.
Kidnap people from foreign countries.
Honestly, that is what he's so used to that, and he just applied it to on Nnamdi Kanu. They made a mistake.
Lest I forget this issue of brokers that we are talking about. You are aware that Simon Ekpa has been convicted and sentenced in Finland for broadcast. For broadcast and incitement by broadcast.
Yes, but at least 6 years. That makes sense to me. 6 years. That makes sense to me. But it's not so for God's sake, life imprisonment for what now? For what? Because imprisonment, conviction, there's no doubt. Whatever Kanu did in the past, there's no doubt about that.
If you tie the broadcast to actual action that led to people dying, that led to police stations being burnt and people being killed, that takes the sentence, that takes the offense outside mere broadcast.
Like I said earlier, I've read a very extensive report on that. This Biafra agitation, people hijacked it from Nnamdi Kanu. They hijacked it. The bad actors hijacked it. People who are just there to really make money out of it, including politicians, powerful politicians in Nigeria, in the East, I mean. So let's not go down there. That's a rabbit hole. Let's not go down there because the insecurity in the East is so complex that unfortunately they decided to put everything on Nnamdi Kanu Well, that's understandable, but that is wrong.